This is my demonstration of Google Classroom and Share to Classroom, two emerging technologies I believe will address potential problems students may have, the feeling of anxiety and being overwhelmed from excessive workload that's complex, driven by projects. You can see here I am in the instructor side of Google Classroom, and early on in the semester I have created an announcement as follows to the students. Please see attached investment banking model and investment banking report template. Here they are. I've attached them both and I've sent them on to students. So we go to the student side of the Google Classroom. You can see the student side has a picture of the instructor and a picture of the student. The student sees both the Excel model investment banking data side and the Word document for the written report. Student goes in to the data analysis, the Excel spreadsheet, sees a cover page, significant amount of data will need to be put in here, company name, fiscal year end, the currency, and a bunch of other information, and it will show a balance check for the balance sheet. Students will then go to the model sheet. This is where it gets to be complex and in some depth. The students will need to put in financial data, 3 years historical financial data for a company, for the balance sheet and the income statement. 3 years historical data. You can see the complexity grows because there's a ratio section which will be calculated. There's a sales segment area which will be calculated. There will be a cost analysis section which will have to be worked up, and then at the end of it is a cash flow statement. In addition to the historical data that needs to be inputted, students will have to forecast balance sheet and income statement data, financial data. To do that, there's a page called Assumptions. Students will put in their assumptions based on historical trends and their judgment. Balance sheet assumptions will have to be inputted. P&L assumptions will need to be there. And there's a debt schedule of new debt or retirement of debt in terms of forecast as well. Once all of that is done, the students go to the DCF page. We can see an intrinsic value will be calculated. Students will have to put in a risk-free rate, a market risk premium, and a beta. That's all the back end, the back side of the analysis. What the students are really after is the front page. The front page, this will be on the front page. It includes 2 years historical data, 2 years forecast financial data. And then the back page, which is a summary of financials with more detail. Now, students can go into the Word document to see the structure of how this will be shaped. You can see here's what the front page will look like. We saw that on the spreadsheet. The students will write an executive summary. There'll be an economics section, a business development section, valuation, ESG, etc. sections, and there's the back page. Now the students writes back, wow, this is a monster project, how do I start? And I would be in a dialogue with the student to discuss that. In addition, I've created an assignment. We have to go to the instructor side. Created an assignment. The assignment is, yes, to the students. Read the 3 articles I pushed to you about AI and answer the following questions. The questions are, what impact will AI have in the investment industry? What potential ethical problems could arise? Should the government regulate? And you can see Share to Classroom that the instructor has pushed. Musk warns governors about artificial intelligence. Robots are eating money manager's lunch. Risk of robots inside the world's fastest hedge funds. So we are going to the Student side, the student gets the assignment, sees the questions, and answers them. The impact AI has in the investment industry? None. Potential ethical problems? Lots. Government regulation? No. So you can see that there's a lot of good back and forth with assignments, with questions, with assignments. So as a student progresses on the project, you can see that there's some Q&A. Where do I find the risk-free rate in the beta data from a student? The instructor writes back, risk-free rate is typically the 2-year treasury yield, and average 3 data sources for the beta. And we could have a dialogue beyond that. Now the student is actually writing the text for the report and has a question and has pushed an article on economic forecast. Our team thinks U.S. GDP will grow 3% for the next 5 years. Are we crazy? So you can see in Share to Classroom that we're still on the student side, pushed to teacher. The students pushed a Goldman Sachs article that the instructor received. The instructor writes back, no, you're not crazy yet. Please make sure that you detail GDP components and which one drives your forecast, and that dialogue could continue on. Now the student receives from the instructor at the end of the course, how did you like the company analysis report project? Student writes back, fantastic, I'll take it to London with me for an interview. So going back to the instructor page, the instructor sees that, reply, fantastic, I'll take it to London with me for an interview, and the instructor is very, very pleased. Thank you.